Hey and welcome back to Would You Survive, where we look at horror movies and see if you can survive them. Today we are looking at Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was released in 1988 and was directed by Tim Burton. Beetlejuice is played perfectly in this movie by Michael Keaton. I recommend you check out this movie and other movies directed by Tim Burton. Make sure you watch Beetlejuice since I don't include everything in this video. Once again, I will give you your percentage chance of surviving this movie at the end of the video. And this video was inspired by Dead Meat, How to Beat and Nerd Explains, but now let's talk about the movie. The movie starts with a look over a miniature town with a song we all know very well by now. We then get introduced to some of the characters in this movie, that being Adam and Barbara Maitland, played by Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. Adam and Barbara get visited by Jane, who tells them about an offer they have had for their house. However, Barbara doesn't seem interested in selling the house and quickly gets Jane to leave. Adam and Barbara decide to leave their home to go to the store, which will turn out to be their worst decision. They make it safely to the store, however on their way back this dog causes them to crash through the bridge, where they're only being held up by the dog. The dog runs off and this causes their car to fall into the lake. However, Adam and Barbara arrive home where the fireplace has caught fire by itself. Adam and Barbara decide to cool off near the fireplace, but Barbara's hand catches fire. Adam and Barbara then figure out that they can't see themselves in the mirror, and there is a book called
Handbook for the Recently Diseased.
No, it doesn't say that.
Deceased.
Thanks, Barbara. Now, if you haven't seen the movie or guessed it already, Adam and Barbara passed away after their car crashed into the lake. However, since Adam and Barbara have passed away, Jane from the beginning has managed to sell the house to the Dietz family. You might recognise some of the actors who play the Dietz family. Catherine O'Hara playing Delia Dietz, and Winona Ryder playing Lydia Dietz. We also see Delia Dietz's friend Otho, who is played by Glenn Shaddix. The family starts moving their stuff into the house while Adam and Barbara look at them. We then get introduced to the rest of the Dietz family, that being Charles, who I will not go into any further detail on the actor for certain reasons. Adam and Barbara try various things to try and scare the Dietz family out of their house, but it just seems like the family can't see them. After multiple attempts of trying to scare the family, Adam and Barbara realise that they forgot to lock the attic door. And then we get this scene of Adam running with no head. Adam manages to lock the door to the attic in the very last second before Delia and Otho get up there. Delia also guesses the exact reason the door gets locked.
The people who died in this house, they want us out of here. So let's do them a favor.
When Barbara tries to leave the house, she falls into a desert. Adam joins her and they witness a sandworm coming towards them. They manage to escape the sandworms in the very last second, but they do get a good look at what the sandworms look like before going through the door. There is a lot of stop motion used in this movie, and luckily they use stop motion in Beetlejuice as well. Adam and Barbara figure out that they're trapped in the house with the Dietz family, but remember that the living can't see the dead, while Lydia Dietz can see Adam and Barbara. Lydia also turns the fact that she could see the dead into a job in the next movie.
Became a ghost house.
Lydia is handed a key which opens every room in the house by Jane, and Lydia decides to go up to the attic, where Adam and Barbara are watching the TV which Beetlejuice is on. Beetlejuice is obviously trying to get Adam and Barbara to say his name 3 times, and he is offering to help them with their problem. The problem being the Dietz family moving into their house and changing everything. Adam has read in the book that he needs to draw a door if they need help, and then he needs to knock 3 times. This actually works and opens a door, which Adam and Barbara choose to walk through. This takes them to the Afterlife Waiting Centre, where multiple people are waiting, even some reading the book for the recently
diseased.
Adam and Barbara wait in the Afterlife Centre, where they can see how people died. Some being obvious and some making me question how it happened. Lydia Dietz finally gets that door open and discovers Adam and Barbara's miniature town. She also finds the book for the recently
diseased.
While Adam and Barbara are talking to Juno, their caseworker, Juno warns them about Beetlejuice. She mentions that you should never say his name 3 times.
The only way he can be brought back is by calling his name 3 times.
Adam and Barbara try some more simple methods of trying to scare the Dietz family out of their house, like making weird ghost noises and hiding under bed sheets pretending to be a ghost. Well, I guess they are ghosts, but you know what I mean. When Adam and Barbara attempt to scare Lydia, it turns out that Lydia can actually see them. This obviously confuses Adam and Barbara, since Lydia is the only person who can actually see them. But if you're confused, here's Lydia Dietz's explanation. Lydia says that when she was reading the book, it says that the living often ignore the strange and unusual, but Lydia says,
I myself am strange and unusual.
Adam and Barbara explain to Lydia that they want to scare the Dietz family out of the house. But Lydia explains that it won't be that easy. Adam and Barbara see a light flashing in their miniature town. Barbara decides to say Beetlejuice 3 times after seeing this. Adam and Barbara then get put into the miniature town where Beetlejuice is. Adam and Barbara dig up Beetlejuice, and then, once Beetlejuice has been dug up, he floats after them. He then shows them that he can take over anyone's voice. But Barbara explains that they just want the Dietz to leave their house. Adam then asks Beetlejuice if he can be scary, so Beetlejuice decides to do this. Beetlejuice shows that he can also do this. The actor of Beetlejuice, Michael Keaton, is so funny in this movie, and it didn't surprise me when I figured out that he has done stand-up comedy before.
Was Michael Keaton a stand-up comedian? Yeah, well, I did stand up for a while.
Adam and Barbara decide to leave the town and decide they don't want Beetlejuice's help. The Dietz family are having a meal with some guests and talk about Delia's sculptures. They also talk about the paranormal, and Lydia decides to tell them all that she's seen ghosts in the house. Delia then starts singing, and then soon after everyone starts singing and dancing. But then their food grabs their faces and throws them backwards. Obviously the reason all that happened is because of Adam and Barbara. The Dietz family decide that they want to make money from the fact there is ghosts in the house. Lydia, Delia, Otho and Charles go up to the attic where Adam and Barbara are staying. The rest of the family then find the miniature town, which Adam and Barbara created. They also find the handbook for the recently deceased, which Otho decides to keep. Since Adam and Barbara's attempt at scaring the Dietz out of the house didn't work, Beetlejuice tries his own way. He turns into this giant snake and chases the family through the house. Beetlejuice decides to knock Otho down the stairs and drops Charles. Barbara says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, which makes Beetlejuice disappear, but Lydia thinks it was Adam and Barbara who just did all that. This movie uses some amazing practical effects. They even made a snake Beetlejuice to use in this scene. Adam and Barbara go to see Juno, where Juno tells them that Otho has taken the handbook. Adam and Barbara try to make themselves look as scary as possible, so they can scare the Dietz out of the house. Lydia goes up to the attic to try and find Adam and Barbara, but she finds Beetlejuice in the miniature town. Beetlejuice tries to convince Lydia to get him out of the model. He says to Lydia that she needs to say his name 3 times, but Beetlejuice can't tell her his name, so he tries to get her to guess his name by showing her a beetle and an orange juice. Lydia guesses correctly, but realises that Beetlejuice was the snake from earlier. Adam and Barbara manage to stop Lydia before she says his name 3 times. Downstairs, Otho has a plan to get Adam and Barbara out of hiding. Otho begins by grabbing Adam and Barbara's wedding clothes, and then he starts reading from the handbook. This makes Adam and Barbara appear on the table, but something is wrong. It turns out that
They're dying!
Lydia goes to Beetlejuice to try and get him to help. Beetlejuice says that he needs to get married for his help. She says his name 3 times, and now it is.
It's showtime.
Beetlejuice now appears and does this. He sends them flying through the roof. Beetlejuice then changes into a suit and makes a dress appear on Lydia. Delia's sculptures then come to life, and the sculptures grab Charles and Delia. Adam attempts to say Beetlejuice 3 times, but he makes it so Adam's mouth falls out. Beetlejuice then teleports Adam into his miniature town. Barbara successfully manages to say Beetlejuice, but then he puts a zip on her mouth. He then decides to teleport Barbara into the desert where the sandworms are. However, Barbara manages to ride the sandworms back into the house and it eats Beetlejuice. After this, we see Lydia arrive home, and we also see Barbara and Adam in the house still. They then start making all the furniture move, and Lydia starts floating and dancing, while at the same time Beetlejuice is still in the afterlife waiting centre, and he decides to steal this person's number in line. But as revenge, they shrink Beetlejuice's head. This was an amazing ending to the movie. Beetlejuice is such a good movie, and I recommend you to watch it if you haven't already. If you were in the movie of Beetlejuice, I think that you would have a 66.67% chance of surviving. If you're interested in how I get the percentage, all I do is see how many main characters are in the movie, which we see alive at one point. And since there are 6 in this movie, that would be 100%. As the main characters, I counted Lydia, Delia, Otho, Charles, and Adam and Barbara. But since Adam and Barbara die, I figure out what 2 would be and take that away from 100%. I think this is the best way to figure it out since I previously just guessed. Once again, I want to remind you that this video is inspired by Dead Meat, How to Beat, and Nerd Explains. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video and what you think of Beetlejuice. And if you've seen Beetlejuice, let me know in the comments what you think of that movie. Thank you for making it to the end of the video, and if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. Make sure to click the video on screen now if you like videos like this.